Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having an excellent day. Today on Let's Talk, I'm going to be discussing ports on the Nintendo Switch. There's a lot of them! I almost say there's too much of them, but I would never say that because too many games is never a bad thing. I wish some of these people were a little bit more selective with the ports that they choose to go with, but that's not what we're here to discuss. Most of these games are really good. Some of them, like Wolfenstein, Doom, and the two Outlasts, show that the Switch is capable of standing toe-to-toe with the PS4 and the Xbox One. Now, is it equal? No, not even close. But it's close enough that you can look at it, be happy with the results. It's quite astonishing what developers and third parties like Panic Button have been able to accomplish on the Switch. Then you get less stellar ports like Rocket League, which actually got an update recently which allows you to choose performance over quality. And I actually like the quality mode over the performance mode. I don't care that it's 30 frames per second. It looks better. It looks cleaner. I'm sad that there is no grass though. Like, it is a small thing, but like there's still a level of lack of detail to the game that still really bugs me. When you consider other games that are much bigger and much more beautiful, like Breath of the Wild is a good example, why couldn't this game have a little bit more detail? It just baffles me. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. And then you get horrible, absolutely terrible ports on the Switch. And they're few and far between, and some of them end up getting patched, but a lot of them, like WWE 2K18, developers just seem to not care. They're okay with taking your money and releasing a very subpar, not even subpar, like terrible version of the game. And I don't appreciate that. I honestly don't appreciate that. And I wish that Nintendo would be a little bit more nitpicky about things like that. I think it's appalling that 2K as well, a company that I respect, put out some really poor versions of their sports games. Which leads me into my next point. Games that are announced for the system but aren't exactly necessary. You know, you've got a lot of games like that, especially the sports games, you know, FIFA, the hockey games, like all of it, NFL, it doesn't matter what it is. It kills me that we get these subpar versions of the game when Nintendo themselves could be creating sports games that could rival these any day of the week. Games like Mario Soccer, Mario Tennis. There could be even new sports franchises that Nintendo could make with Mario. But the sports mix, that was a failure. Don't ever do that again. It's all about concentrating on the sport. The newest Mario Tennis looks like you guys have definitely gotten back on track with their sports game. So I'm really excited to see how that game pans out. But yeah, you have the ability. Why allow subpar quality when you can create greatness, you know? And the biggest point, the actual reason I wanted to do this video was because Steep. Steep is like one of the best snowboarding games I have ever played, and I was very much looking forward to it on the Switch. When I heard the announcement, I was super giddy. I was in the midst of playing it on PlayStation 4. It's an amazing game. It would have been great to carry on the go. Ubisoft was having issues putting it on the Switch, which again, I was kind of like, really? But anyway, they're having issues. Nintendo stepped in and said that they would help with the development of this game. We have heard nothing, absolutely nothing since. And it has me wondering several things. One, is it really that big of an issue? I still don't think it is. Two, is the complete silence a show that they may be working on something different together? Snowboarding related? Maybe 1080 comes to mind? I mean, that's just a dream. Like, I even if it isn't the case, and we still get Steep, that's amazing. That's amazing. I would love to see it being playable at E3. I mean, it should have been playable at last E3, but we're not going to go there. I would definitely say that despite Steep coming to the system, Nintendo, 1080, what are you doing? You have your own snowboarding game that could easily be remastered into something incredible for today's audience, and yet you sleep on it. Like, no, you shouldn't. These are great games. And this argument can actually extend to a lot of your games. Wave Race, what the hell? You guys were the king of water physics, and now Sea of Thieves. has the title. I don't appreciate that. So you guys better get on some wave race, and you better, I want the best water physics ever seen in life in that game. Oh my goodness. And then like Excite Bike, Excite Truck. You know, as different as those two concepts were from one another, they were amazingly unique. I mean, Excite Bike was definitely more like 1080 and Wave Race, where it took very realistic elements of the sports that they were simulating and added arcade-like aspects to it, whereas Excite Truck was an arcade racer, but it was so fantastically executed. I loved it, and I would love to see a new one. But aside from that, those three first games I mentioned, games like F-Zero, you know, you guys rely on a game, well, not rely on, but ever since it came out on the Wii U, Fast Racing Neo was heralded as like, oh my god, the fix. If you're dying for F-Zero, here is your addiction, you know, on a plate. And it was cheap. The DLC was cheap. It came to Switch. I don't know how well it sold, but it looked even more beautiful. It had more tracks. The tracks were kind of just remixes, in my opinion, of other tracks with different weather effects and stuff. But they had new vehicles, so it was nice. And all the DLC from the previous game was included. So it was nice. But you know what we really want? You know, Nintendo. You know what we really want, right? I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. F-Zero! God damn! I want it! F-Zero GX, you and Sega made magic with that game. Why can't we see that again? Now, with the beauty that is the Switch, it would be so delicious. Like, make it happen, people! And another thing, I don't know who owns the rights to Extreme G, but why not try and acquire them? I don't know how much it would cost, but I imagine with the oodles and oodles you're making right now with the Switch, it wouldn't hurt your pocket. It would be a great idea. Oh my god. I mean, you don't even have to be like EA where you swallow up a company's brand and never use it. You could have both and make money off of both, because the F-Zero players will buy Extreme G and the Extreme G players will buy F-Zero. Not just to compare the two, but because they're both great games, heralded for their awesomeness and futuristic badassery. You know, man, I just feel like, you know, it's great that Nintendo has so much support. There's so much third-party support, and it's what's helping to make the Switch such a healthy platform right now. But you guys need to dig into your catalog and start like really just trying to expand what people think of you. Because even though you guys have done better over the last few years and you've made great changes to some of your games, people still view you as the Zelda machine, the Mario machine. I mean, obviously people view the Switch more favorably than that now because there's all this third-party support and big name games are coming to the Switch. But there's still a lot of room for you guys to expand what people think of you, not the Switch, what they think of you. You know, games like Eternal Darkness, I don't know, you guys own the rights to it. I don't know if you ever want to do a sequel to it, but an HD remake of the game would be amazing. I mean, the game was meant for the 64, and you could tell that on the GameCube. Though the game looked great, you could tell that it was meant for an older system. I would love to see that game remastered. It was such a cult classic. People love that game, and people do still love Resident Evil style games, and this was one of the best. I'd say cream of the crop because of a lot of the elements that it added that were different. Things like the sanity meter. I see people copying that nowadays in certain games. You guys have so much potential, and I just want to see you guys do more with what that potential has to offer. You know, I want to see more creative things coming out of you guys, and not to say that what you guys produce isn't creative, but I want to see you guys expand that creativity into new areas, into areas that you used to dabble in but no longer. Anyway, guys, I think that does it for this video. I'm very happy with the Switch and all that it has brought to the table, all the third parties have brought to the table with it. I'd just love to see some change. And I'd love to hear in the comments what you guys think about this. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button. If you're not subbed, please, please, please do it. I'll be ever so grateful. And I hope to see you in the next one. If you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I've got links in the description below. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.